What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Francis Ngannou has officially been released by the PFL and is now a free agent once again. The surprising development has sparked major discussion across the MMA world, especially considering the expectations that surrounded his signing with the promotion not long ago. During his time with the PFL, Francis Ngannou only competed once inside the cage. His lone appearance came in 2024 at a PFL Super Fights event where he faced Renan Ferreira. The fight did not last long, as Ngannou delivered a dominant performance and secured a first-round TKO victory. It was a powerful reminder of the devastating knockout ability that made him one of the most feared heavyweights in combat sports. Despite that strong debut, Ngannou still had one fight remaining on his contract with the promotion. According to reports, there were two possible outcomes for the deal. Either Ngannou would return to complete that final fight, or the contract would simply expire as time passed. Recently, Ngannou himself had mentioned that the remaining term on the agreement was approaching its end in the coming months. Instead of scheduling another bout, both sides ultimately decided to go their separate ways. The decision appears to have been mutual, with the promotion believing that Ngannou no longer fits their long-term plans moving forward. As the PFL continues to focus on its future events and new broadcast deals, the organization seems to be shifting toward a different business direction. Reports suggest the promotion is currently working on securing new media rights, possibly renewing their relationship with ESPN or exploring other broadcasting opportunities. Within that evolving strategy, it seems that Ngannou's role in the company became less clear. Even though some people may view the split as a mistake, many believe it actually worked out extremely well for Ngannou. Financially, his single fight with the promotion was incredibly successful. In fact, he reportedly earned more money for that one fight against Renan Ferreira than he made across several of his previous UFC fights combined. When comparing the payout from that bout to his final UFC appearance against Cyril Gane, the difference was massive. Some estimates suggest the earnings from the PFL fight may have been 5 times higher, or possibly even more. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news. Both Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira have shown interest in a potential fight with Conor, as talk around the possible matchup continues to grow ahead of their upcoming BMF title clash this weekend. With so much attention surrounding the event, both fighters have been repeatedly asked about the possibility of facing Conor next, especially with rumors linking the Irish superstar to a massive return fight. During a recent interview with Paramount, Max Holloway addressed the idea of fighting Conor and admitted that it would definitely be an exciting matchup. Holloway explained that beyond the hype, the fight also carries a personal motivation for him. He referenced their first meeting back in 2013, when Conor defeated him by unanimous decision early in both of their UFC careers. Holloway made it clear that right now his full focus remains on Charles Oliveira and their upcoming BMF title fight. However, he also admitted that if the opportunity to face Conor ever presents itself again, he would welcome the chance to run it back. According to Holloway, he has always wanted to get revenge against fighters who previously beat him, and Conor is one of the few opponents he never had the chance to face again. While discussing the potential location for such a huge fight, Holloway even joked about the idea of fighting Conor at the White House. He said the security and overall chaos of such an event might actually be too intense for his liking. Instead, he suggested that a massive summer card in Las Vegas during International Fight Week would probably be a better setting for a blockbuster rematch. Meanwhile, Charles Oliveira also reacted to the idea of fighting Conor during Media Day. Oliveira gave a very honest response when asked about the matchup. He explained that if he ever accepts a fight with Conor, it would be strictly for the financial opportunity that comes with it. Oliveira stated clearly that the motivation would be the money and nothing else. Even with that straightforward answer, it's still confirmed that he is open to the possibility of the fight if the offer is right. It is also important to remember that Holloway and Oliveira are competing at lightweight this weekend. If the Conor fight rumors are true, either fighter would likely have to move up to welterweight and compete at 170 pounds to make the matchup happen. Moving on to another news. RDR has finally opened up about the serious health scare that affected him around the time of his last fight. Before that setback, RDR had been on an impressive run through the division, building momentum with a strong 4-fight winning streak. His performances had many fans believing he was quickly establishing himself as one of the most dangerous contenders in the weight class. However, that momentum came to a sudden stop when he faced Brendan Allen. During the fight, Allen managed to break him down with consistent pressure and damage, eventually forcing RDR's corner to stop the bout in the 4th round. The loss raised questions among fans because RDR looked unusually drained and lacked the energy people had become used to seeing from him. Not long after the fight, RDR revealed that something had been seriously wrong with his body leading up to the matchup. At the time, he explained that he had been dealing with a major health issue, but doctors were struggling to find a clear diagnosis. That uncertainty made the situation even more frustrating for him because he knew something was off, but did not know exactly what it was. Now, during a recent Media Day appearance, RDR finally shared that doctors were able to identify the root of the problem. According to him, medical tests showed that he was suffering from severe anemia, which meant he had extremely low red blood cell counts. Since red blood cells carry oxygen through the body, the condition was essentially limiting how much oxygen his body could deliver, leaving him constantly exhausted. RDR explained that his blood work at the time was completely off. Many of the numbers were far outside normal ranges, but the most alarming issue was the dangerously low red blood cell count. Once he finally understood what was happening inside his body, he at least felt some relief knowing there was a clear explanation. He admitted the recovery process was not easy. There were weeks where even basic physical activity felt overwhelming. RDR said there were moments when he could not complete a training session, and even walking up the stairs would leave him feeling extremely tired. For a short period, he even worried that his body might never fully recover and that his fighting career could be over. Moving on to another news, Tom Aspinall has officially signed a deal with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, but the agreement is not about switching sports or moving into boxing. Instead, the deal focuses on commercial representation and business development as Aspinall continues his career in the UFC. The announcement came shortly after reports confirmed that Aspinall joined Matchroom in a commercial advisory role. The partnership allows Hearn and his team to help manage Aspinall's business opportunities, endorsements, and overall brand growth outside the octagon. According to Aspinall, the goal of the deal is simple. He wants to increase his commercial value and build his financial future while continuing to compete at the highest level in MMA. Aspinall explained that he has known Eddie Hearn for quite some time and has built a level of trust with him over the years. Because of that relationship, he felt confident that working together would help him maximize opportunities and grow his brand globally. While he remains focused on fighting in the UFC, he also wants to make sure he is making the most of his career financially. The news also arrives during a period of tension between Hearn and Dana White. Their rivalry recently intensified after Zuffa Boxing signed Conor Ben away from Matchroom, creating another layer of competition between the two sides in the combat sports business. Despite that rivalry, Hearn made it clear that bringing Aspinall into the Matchroom family is not about moving him into boxing anytime soon. According to Hearn, Aspinall already has a contract with the UFC and remains fully committed to his MMA career. The focus of this partnership is purely about representation and helping him expand his business ventures outside of fighting. Hearn also shared his personal thoughts about Aspinall's current situation and revealed that he felt the heavyweight champion has not always received the respect he deserves. When they first spoke about working together, Hearn said Aspinall seemed somewhat frustrated and mentally drained from the narrative surrounding his career. Hearn told him that he should never forget what he has accomplished. As the UFC heavyweight champion, Aspinall has already reached the very top of the sport. According to Hearn, that achievement alone deserves recognition and respect. He also mentioned that Aspinall's recent journey has been extremely challenging, not only physically, but mentally as well. The heavyweight star has undergone multiple surgeries and faced a long recovery process, which has tested him both emotionally and physically. For now, the main priority is getting Aspinall fully healthy and back inside the octagon. Hearn believes once he returns, people will quickly remember exactly who he is and why he sits at the top of the heavyweight division. Moving on to another news, Dana White recently addressed the situation involving Tom Aspinall and his new partnership with Eddie Hearn during an interview with Piers Morgan. The UFC president spoke openly about his relationship with Aspinall and made it clear that there has never been any personal issue between the two of them. During the interview, Dana explained that while the UFC has been in contact with Aspinall, he personally has not yet had a direct conversation with the heavyweight champion about the recent concerns that were raised publicly. According to Dana, The two of them simply need to sit down together and talk things through. The discussion comes after comments from Aspinall and his father suggested that they felt Dana may have questioned the seriousness of Aspinall's eye injury. Dana strongly denied that interpretation and said that was never his intention. He clarified that he has always respected Aspinall and has never spoken negatively about his injury or his professionalism. Dana explained that at one point he mentioned publicly that he believed Aspinall would be okay and expected him to recover well. However, Aspinall's team later responded by saying that the situation was more complicated than that. According to Dana, the comment was simply based on the information he had received at the time from the UFC's medical staff. He emphasized that his medical team had been communicating with Aspinall throughout the process, and his statement was never meant to dismiss or question the injury. Dana insisted that he respects Aspinall a lot and has always enjoyed working with him since he joined the UFC. He also repeated that he has never had a problem with Aspinall and considers him a great fighter and a valuable part of the heavyweight division. From Dana's perspective, the misunderstanding likely came from miscommunication rather than any real conflict. The topic came up again during the UFC 326 pre-fight press conference when Dana was asked about Aspinall signing a commercial advisory deal with Eddie Hearn's Matchroom agency. Dana appeared completely relaxed about the situation and said the UFC has no issue with who represents Aspinall outside the cage. According to Dana, fighters are free to work with different representatives for their business interests, and that does not affect their relationship with the UFC. He even pointed out that in the past, other well-known figures in combat sports have represented fighters while they were still competing under the UFC banner. In short, Dana made it clear that Aspinall's partnership with Hearn is not a problem for the organization. Moving on to another news. Max Holloway believes many people are seriously overlooking an important part of his skill set ahead of his highly anticipated fight with Charles Oliveira. As the matchup continues to generate massive buzz, a lot of fans and media members have been describing it as a classic striker versus grappler battle. However, Holloway says that narrative is completely wrong. Speaking during Media Day, Holloway explained that the perception of this fight being a simple striking versus grappling contest does not accurately represent how Charles Oliveira actually wins many of his fights. According to Holloway, people forget that Oliveira often uses his striking first before securing his submissions. Holloway pointed out that many of Oliveira's submission victories actually begin with him hurting opponents on the feet. Once he stuns them with punches, that is when he transitions into grappling and locks in a submission. Holloway even admitted that he respects that style, saying it is a very BMF way to finish fights. For Holloway, blending striking damage with a submission finish shows the kind of well-rounded ability that defines elite mixed martial artists. At the same time, Holloway believes his own grappling skills are being underestimated by fans and analysts. Over the course of his UFC career, Holloway has built a reputation primarily as a high-volume striker with incredible boxing combinations and relentless pressure. Because of that, many people rarely talk about his submission game. Holloway explained that he simply has not had many opportunities to showcase that side of his abilities inside the octagon. It is not that the skills are not there, but rather that his fights have usually played out in a way that keeps the action standing. Even so, Holloway made it clear that he would love the opportunity to surprise people. In fact, he joked that it would be incredibly fitting if he managed to submit a fighter known worldwide for his submission skills. Holloway said that submitting a submission specialist like Oliveira would be one of the most BMF outcomes possible. Still, despite the jokes and confidence, Holloway showed plenty of respect toward his opponent and the danger he presents. He emphasized that both fighters can talk as much as they want during fight week. Words and predictions are everywhere leading into a big fight like this. However, Holloway reminded everyone that the real answers will only come once the cage door closes. According to Holloway, that is the beauty of the sport. All the debates, opinions, and predictions disappear once fight night arrives, and the truth reveals itself inside the octagon when the two fighters finally face each other. Moving on to another news. The rumored UFC White House card has taken the MMA world by storm after Bisping appeared to leak several massive fights during a recent podcast appearance alongside Paul Felder. While discussing the historic event, Bisping casually mentioned 3 blockbuster matchups that he claimed are expected to take place on the card. According to him, fans could see John Jones facing Alex Pereira, Ilia going head-to-head with Islam Makhachev, and Khamzat battling Sean Strickland. If the information turns out to be accurate, the event could easily become one of the most stacked fight cards in UFC history. The comments quickly spread across the MMA community because they arrived only hours after Dana White revealed that the White House event had already been finalized behind the scenes. Dana also hinted that the official announcement would arrive sometime this week, which made Bisping's remarks even more explosive. Many fans immediately began sharing clips of the podcast, believing that the former champion may have accidentally revealed one of the biggest fight cards the promotion has ever attempted to put together. During the conversation, Bisping explained that the White House show would feature around 6 fights in total and insisted the scale of the event would be almost impossible to top in the future. He emphasized that matchups like John Jones versus Alex Pereira, Ilia versus Islam Makhachev, and Khamzat versus Sean Strickland already make the event feel historic before any other bouts are even announced. He even joked that the only way the UFC could ever surpass something this big would be by staging a fight somewhere outside the planet. According to Bisping, the promotion might only top this spectacle if an event was somehow held on the moon or deep in outer space. The lighthearted moment continued when the conversation shifted to other wild sporting ideas, including a fantasy matchup between Alexander Usyk and Rico Verhoeven, staged in front of the pyramids of Giza. Even though that suggestion sounded outrageous, the leaked White House lineup already feels massive enough to reshape the excitement surrounding the UFC event for fight fans worldwide.